The year is 1237. Snorri Sturluson requires passage to meet with the King of Norway to discuss Norwegian rule of Iceland. To disguise his true intentions, he bought a merchant vessel to travel to Norway under the guise of selling herring. The ship was designed with a shallow hull to allow it to be rowed into waters as shallow as 1 meter. Valuable oak was felled and split into long planks and riveted upwards from the keel. The hull is painted with black tar to protect the timber from worms and rot, and the sailcloth allowed the ship to fly through the water at 15 knots under favourable winds. They left the harbour at Reykjavik on the morning tide at the start of summer, and began sailing along the Icelandic coast with the sun in their eyes. Spirits were high as they set out on their long journey. They rapidly settled into routines: salted fish, bread, and porridge for meals, unless Lady Luck smiled on them and they could stop ashore and catch fresh meat and fish. After passing the eastern coast of Iceland, they set about navigating the ferocious North Sea, aiming for the Faroe Islands. Bitterly cold winds howled down from the frigid north, heralding the coming of a storm. The sail was shortened and belongings tied down. The powerful waves tossed the ship about as though a toy. Prayers to various gods could be heard as they were shouted into the wind. After battling the tempest for 2 days, the merchant vessel came clear of the rain and thunder. However, they found themselves adrift and becalmed in fog. Their prayers were soon answered as the crew heard the screeching of nearby seabirds. Following the call of these birds, they came upon the refreshing sight of the Faroe Islands, and sighs of relief passed through the crew. After some much-needed rest and a warm meal, they set out once more for the Norwegian coast. The ship and her crew left the Faroe Isles in an easterly direction, aiming for their last stop before Bergen, the Shetland Isles. The seas were calm and the winds were favourable. This gave the crew time to relax, gamble with dice made from antler, play chess with pieces carved from wood and amber, and drank and made merry. At night they slept under the stars they used to navigate and covered themselves with animal skins and furs for warmth. When the sky was too cloudy to see the position of the sun, the navigator used a sunstone, a crystal that seemed to glow when they looked at the sun through it, allowing them to navigate even in the deepest fog. Arriving in Shetland, the crew welcomed the chance to dry out properly and have a hot meal, their first since leaving the Faroe Islands. The day before the experienced crew were due to leave, another storm struck the island, forcing them to remain on land until the storm blew over. After restocking water and food, the sea-weary crew set out on the final step of their important journey, and the battered ship limped across the North Sea into Bergen, nearly 2 months since departing from the Icelandic port of Reykjavik.